Good morning, students. Okay, so yesterday we studied about grouping of capacitors. Okay, series grouping and the parallel grouping. In series grouping, the capacitors are connected one after the other. Okay, when the capacitors are connected one after the other, we say that such a grouping is series grouping. Okay, and 2 points to remember over there. Okay, the first thing, the charge on each capacitor will be the same, but the total potential difference will be equal to, okay, across all the capacitors, the total potential difference will be equal to the sum of the potential differences across each capacitor. Okay, then we found out the expression of the equivalent capacitance when they are connected in series, 1 upon equivalent capacitance. Okay, 1 upon CS is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Okay, whereas when the capacitors are connected in parallel, the potential difference across each capacitor will be the same. Okay, but the charge on each capacitor, but the charge on different capacitors will be different. Okay, Q1, Q2, Q3, that will be the, and the total charge will be equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Okay, also the equivalent capacitance in parallel CP is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. Okay, so here one question I gave you. 4 capacitors connected in this manner. Okay, and each is of 12 picofarad. You have to find out the equivalent capacitors. Okay, here we see that C1, C2 and C3, they are in series. Okay, these 3 are in series, which the equivalent of C1, C2, C3 will be in parallel to C4. Okay, so let the equivalent of C1, C2, C3 be C dash. So 1 upon C dash is equal to 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 10. That is C dash is equal to 4 picofarads. Okay, now instead of C1, C2, C3, here I will draw only C dash. Okay, and this C dash is in parallel to C4. So the equivalent capacitance will be equal to 4 plus C dash, that is, it is equal to 16 picofarads. Okay, now also you have to find out the charge on each capacitor. Okay, here we know that C4 and C dash, they are getting the same potential difference, that is 500 volts. So C4 we know, V we know. Can we find Q4? Okay, so Q4 will be equal to C4 into V. Okay, both will be getting C dash and C4 as they are in parallel, both will be getting the same voltage, that is 500 volts. Okay, so C4 here is 12 picofarads into V here is 500 volt. Okay, that is 60 into followed by 2 zeros, that is 6,000 as we have taken in pico. This we have taken in pico, so this will be picocoulomb. So Q4 is equal to 6,000 picocoulombs. Okay, or you can write it as 6 into, this is 10 raised to the power 3 into 10 raised to the power minus 12, that is 10 raised to the power minus 9 coulomb. Okay, that way also it can be written, or you can leave it like this. Okay, now let's find out Q1, Q2, Q3. Q1, Q2, Q3 will have the same charge. Okay, on each of this capacitor, Q1, Q2, Q3 will be the same. Q4 we have determined. Okay, now let's find out what is Q. Okay, Q1, Q2, Q3 all will be the same. Okay, so here Q1, Q2, Q3 will be equal to C dash into V. Okay, C dash is how much? 4 picofarads. 4 into V here, this is also getting 500. That is 2000 picocoulombs. So Q1, Q2, Q3, all 3 will have 2000 picocoulombs, whereas Q4 will be, that is on C4, it will be 6000 picocoulombs. Okay, now let's proceed. Now we'll find out the energy stored in a capacitor. Okay, how much energy is stored inside a capacitor, and this energy stored, we call it as the electrostatic energy. Now let's find out the expression of energy stored in a capacitor. So write the heading, energy stored in a capacitor. Okay, so the next topic is, this is part 9. Energy stored in a capacitor. Okay, there will be some work in charging some charge from one plate to the other. This work done will be stored in the form of a potential energy, and such an energy we call it as the energy inside a capacitor, and this energy here we term it as electrostatic energy. So we'll start with it. Write down, some work is done in transferring charge from one plate to another which is stored in the capacitor, in the form of electrostatic energy. Okay, which is stored in the capacitor in the form of electrostatic energy. Okay, so some work is done in transferring a charge from one plate to another. Okay, so some work is done in that, and this work will be stored in the form of electrostatic energy. Okay, so write down the potential difference. The potential difference between the plates. The potential difference between the plates we know is equal to, if its capacitance is C, the potential difference is given by Q upon C. Okay, the potential difference between the plates is given by Q by C. V is equal to Q upon C. Okay, the potential difference between the plates is given by Q by C. Okay, where C is its capacitance and Q is the charge stored on the plates of the capacitor. Write down, small amount of work is done. Small amount of work is done in giving additional charge dq. In giving additional charge, okay, that is in transferring some small amount of charge. In giving additional charge dq. Okay, small amount of work is done. Small amount of work we are representing by dw. Small amount of work is done in giving additional charge dq. Okay, so that is dq charge is transferred or dq additional charge is given. We know that potential difference is work done per unit charge. So the work done will be equal to potential difference into charge. Potential difference between the plates is V, and how much charge is transferred? A small amount of charge dq is transferred. So a small amount of work is done. So the small amount of work done in giving this additional charge dq, this small amount of work is given by this expression V into dq. Okay, potential difference is work done per unit charge. So the work done will be equal to potential difference into the charge. So dq charge is transferred. So small amount of work dw is done. Now substitute V over here. So dw is equal to Q upon C into dq. Okay, now let some charge capital Q is transferred. So the total amount of work done we'll find out. Write down the total amount of work done. The total amount of work done in charging a capacitor. In charging the capacitor from 0 to Q. The total amount of work done in charging a capacitor from 0 to Q. So what do? We integrate it. Okay, so we have to integrate. So total amount of work done, integrate both the sides. The integration of dW is W. Here the integration will be from 0 to capital Q. Why? Because the charge which is given is from 0 to capital Q. Okay, 1 upon C, you can take it outside. Integrate Q into dQ. Okay, we know that the integration of x raised to the power n dx is x raised to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. The same way integrate this. You will get the total work done, and this work done will be stored in the capacitor in the form of electrostatic energy. Okay, so the work done is equal to 1 upon C. Integration of Q into dQ is, we know it is Q square, Q raised to the power 1 it is here, Q raised to the power 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1 to in the limits 0 to capital Q. Okay, so put the limits, upper limit minus the lower limit in place of small q. So the total work done is equal to 1 upon 2C Q square minus 0 square. That is, this work done is stored in the form of, let us write down, this work done is equal to Q square upon 2C. And this work done is stored in the form of electrostatic energy. So write down. Okay, first note it down. We are finding out the energy stored in a capacitor. Okay, some charge given to the capacitor, additional charge given, that is transferring some charge from one plate to another, some amount of work is done, small amount of charge is transferred, small amount of work is done. dW is equal to V into dt. V is the potential difference between the plates, which is equal to Q upon C. If C is its capacitance and Q is the charge stored. Okay, so this is dW. Total amount of work done. Okay, charging the capacitor from 0 to capital Q. Okay, 0 to capital Q, if we have to charge the capacitor, the total amount of work done, integrate both the sides, dW integration is W. Okay, so this is the expression for the work done. Put the limits, so here you get the work done, Q square upon 2C. Okay, now write down this work done. This work done is stored in the form of, electrostatic energy. This work done is stored in the form of electrostatic energy. Hence, the electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor. Hence, the electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor is given by, let us represent it by U. Hence, the electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor is given by whatever is the work done, Q square upon 2C is the energy stored in the capacitor. Okay, now in terms of C and V, capacitance and potential difference. Okay, in the numerical, not necessarily Q and C are given. Suppose C and V are given, capacitance and the potential difference between the plates is given. So here you have to eliminate Q. Okay, and you have to bring the expression in terms of C and V. Okay, we know that Q is equal to C into V. So Q square will be equal to C square into V square. So substitute C square into V square. 1 C cancels out. So what do you get? Half C into V square. So another expression of energy stored in the capacitor, half CV square. If C and V are given, then you use this expression. Q and C given, you will use this expression. Okay, now suppose Q and V are given. That is, you have to eliminate this C. Then what will be the expression of the energy stored in terms of Q and V? Eliminate C. C is equal to Q upon V. Substitute it here, Q upon V. V, 1 V cancels out. So what do you get? Half Q into V. So these are the various expressions of energy stored in the capacitor, which we call it as the electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor. So the electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor is given by this energy stored. We call it as electrostatic energy. So it is given by Q square upon 2C, which is also equal to half CV square, which is also equal to half Q into V. Okay, so note down all the expressions of energy stored. Okay, now whether the capacitors are connected in series or in parallel, the total energy stored across the whole combination will be equal to sum of the energy stored in individual capacitor. Okay, energy, this is energy, and energy is a scalar quantity. There will be some energy stored in the first capacitor, second capacitor. So the total energy will be equal to sum of the energy stored in individual capacitors, whether they are connected in series or in parallel. The expression of the total energy will be sum of the energy stored in individual capacitors. Okay, so note it down. Okay, so this is the expression of energy stored in the capacitor. Okay, now along with this expression, whenever such a derivation comes in the exam, then it is also asked to find out the energy density of a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, so this is the expression for the energy stored. Now we'll find out the energy density. Energy density means energy stored per unit volume of the capacitor. Energy stored per unit volume, we call it as the energy density. Okay, so write the next heading. Energy density. Energy density in a parallel plate capacitor. Which capacitor? Parallel plate capacitor. We are finding out energy density of a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, so write this heading, energy density of a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, now the capacitor. This is the general expression of the energy stored in a capacitor. Okay, whether it is a spherical capacitor, cylindrical capacitor, parallel plate capacitor, this is the general expression, half CV square. Okay, or Q square upon 2C or half Q into V, that we can use it. Okay, now in a parallel plate capacitor, we have to find out the energy density. So first write down what do we mean by energy density. Write down energy density. Energy density is the energy stored per unit volume. Is the energy stored per unit volume. Is the energy stored per unit volume. Okay, let us represent the energy density by this symbol, which is the energy stored. Okay, just now we found out the energy stored per unit volume of the capacitor. Okay, UV here we know is equal to half CV square. Now what is the volume of the capacitor? The plates, area of the plates is A and separated by D distance. This is a parallel plate capacitor. One having plus sigma surface charge density, other having minus sigma surface charge density. Separated by D distance, okay, by some dielectric medium. Let the area of the plates is A, capital A. So what is the volume of this capacitor? Volume will be equal to area of the plates into the distance between the two plates. That will give the volume of the capacitor. So volume of the capacitor is A into D. Write down where A is the area, where A is the area of the plates, and D is the distance between the plates, where A is the area of the plates and D is the distance between the plates. Okay, A is the area. So write down energy density, energy per unit volume, energy upon volume, half CV square is the energy, volume of the capacitor is. Okay, so this is equal to half CV square upon A into D. Okay, now it is a parallel plate capacitor. And we know the expression of the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Everyone remembers it. So write down here what is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. If the medium is air between the plates, then it is A epsilon naught upon D. So substitute C is equal to A epsilon naught upon D. A epsilon naught upon 2A D into D, it becomes D square. Okay, so C here we have substituted as A epsilon naught upon D. So D into D, it becomes D square. A you can cancel out. Okay, this expression is perfectly fine, but we'll write it in terms of, in a standard expression, which should be in terms of electric field. Okay, we know that electric field V is equal to electric field is potential gradient. So here V is equal to E into D. Okay, that is the electric field is the change in the potential with the distance from here to here. The potential is changing, the change in the potential with the distance. We call it as electric field. So V is equal to E into D. So V square will be equal to E square into D square. Substitute V square over here. So we'll get the expression for the energy density. So energy density is epsilon naught upon 2D square, E square into D square. This D square can be cancelled out, and hence the energy density is given by half epsilon naught into E square is the expression for the energy density of a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, so this we have found for a parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor, two plates, one having plus sigma, minus sigma, separated by some dielectric medium or air. Okay, this we call it as the parallel plate capacitor. Energy stored per unit volume is the energy density. Energy is half CV square if its capacitance is C and the potential difference between the plates is V, then it is half CV square. Okay, now we are finding out for a parallel plate capacitor. So C is equal to A epsilon naught upon D. Volume is A into D. Okay, substitute, and what do you get? Energy density is given by half epsilon naught into V square. Okay, write a question. So here we have found out the energy stored and the energy density of a parallel plate capacitor. Now write one question. Write down net capacitance. Net capacitance, that is equivalent capacitance. Net capacitance means equivalent capacitance. The net capacitance of three identical capacitors. Of three identical capacitors is 3 microfarad. Okay, when they are connected in series. Okay, net capacitance of three identical capacitors when connected in series. Okay, so let us write it as CS. Okay, the equivalent capacitance when three identical capacitors are connected in series is given by 3 microfarad. So complete that sentence. Net capacitance of three capacitors connected in series is 3 microfarads. what will be their net capacitance? What will be their equivalent capacitance when they are connected in parallel? What will be their equivalent capacitance when they are connected in parallel? Okay, first find out this. Is done. There are three identical capacitors. If one is having a capacitance C, the other two also have the same capacitance C. So given here that 1 upon CS is equal to, we know that when they are connected in series, 1 upon equivalent capacitance is equal to 1 upon C plus C. Okay, so C is the LCM, numerator is 3. Hence CS is equal to C upon 3. So here you can find out the capacitance of individual capacitor. The capacitance of individual capacitor will be equal to 3 into CS. Okay, and CS here is given as 3. So 3 into 3, 9 microfarad. So each one is of 9 microfarad. Okay, so here we got that each capacitor, all three are identical. So if one is having a capacitance C, the other two are also having the same capacitance as they are identical. So the individual capacitance, that is the capacitance of each capacitor, is 9 microfarad. I think now you can find out when they are connected in parallel, what will be the equivalent capacitance? C plus C plus C, that is 9 plus 9 plus 9, that is equal to 27 microfarad. Is that clear? Write down, find the ratio, the same question. Okay, B part. Find the ratio of the energy stored. Find the ratio of the energy stored in the two configurations. In the two configurations, if they are connected to the same source. Find the energy stored in the two configurations. What are the two configurations? Series and parallel. Find the energy stored in the two configurations if they are connected to the same source. Same source means voltage source is the same, V is the same. Okay, so here you have to find out the ratio of the energy stored when they are connected in series to when they are connected in parallel. Okay, if they are connected to the same source. We know that the energy stored is given by, in terms of V we will take. Okay, C we know, CS we know, CP we know. CS is the equivalent capacitance in series, CP is the equivalent capacitance in parallel. Okay, so we know CS and CP. So here we'll find out in terms of, the expression should be, let us write it here. Okay, now here we have to find out the energy stored when they are connected in series to the energy stored when they are connected in parallel. Okay, this ratio has to be determined. Okay, now they are connected to the same source, that is voltage source is same, V is same. So here we'll write the expression of the energy stored in terms of voltage. Okay, we know that half CV square when they are connected in series, half CS into V square. When they are connected in parallel, half CP into V square. This cancels out, this cancels out. So it is equal to 3 upon 27, which is equal to 1 upon 9. So what is the ratio? The ratio is 1:9. Okay, hence the ratio is 1:9. Write one more question. How much work is done? Next question. How much work is done to charge 24 microfarad capacitor? to charge 24 microfarad capacitor when the potential difference between the plates is 500 volts. When the potential difference between the plates is 500 volts. Okay, so in this question, you have to find out the work done. Work done means the energy stored, as we have just seen. This work done is stored in the form of electrostatic energy. So, given that capacitance is 24 microfarad. Okay, how much energy, how much work is done? Work done you have to determine. Capacitance is given as 24 microfarad and the potential difference between the plates is 500 volts. Okay, we know that the energy stored is half CV square. This energy stored is equivalent to the work done. So work done is equal to half CV square. Half capacitance is 24. Okay, in order to get this work done in SI units, and the SI unit is joules. So all this should be in SI units. We know that the SI unit of capacitance is farad. Okay, so 24 microm is 24 into 10 raised to the power minus 6. V square 500 square, 500 into 500. Okay, so you can simplify and can find out the work done. This work done will be in joules. Okay, 10 raised to the power minus 6. This is 10 raised to the power plus 4. So it remains 10 raised to the power minus 2. Okay, 12 into 5 into 5. That is 12 into 25 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. Okay, so here as given the answer is 3 joules. So this work done will be equal to 3 joules. Okay, now on the next one, that is tomorrow, we'll study about common potential. Now let there are two capacitors which are charged to different potentials. Okay, let one is having a capacitance C1, other is having a capacitance C2, but they are charged to different potentials. The potentials are different. When they are connected by a connecting wire, what will happen? The charges will start flowing from the high potential capacitor to the low potential capacitor until the potential on both the capacitors comes to be the same. We know that charges flow whenever there is a potential difference from high potential to the low potential, the charges will start flowing until the potential of both the capacitors come to be the same. This same potential we call it as the common potential. And in this process, there is some loss of energy which we are going to study in detail tomorrow. Okay, so today we have studied about grouping of capacitors, series and parallel grouping. Yesterday we studied in series grouping. The 1 upon equivalent capacitance is 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus and so on. Whereas when they are connected in parallel, the total capacitance is the sum of the individual capacitances. Okay, today we found out the expression for the energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor is given by half CV square or Q square upon 2C, or it is equal to half Q into V. Okay, then along with it, we found out the expression of the energy density of a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, energy density is energy per unit volume of the capacitor. Okay, and the energy density comes out to be half epsilon naught into E square. Okay, so today we have studied about these topics, and tomorrow we'll study about common potential and also the loss of energy. Okay, in this process, there is some loss of energy which appears in some other form. Okay, so we'll find out how much is the expression for the loss of energy. Okay, thank you, class.